What about the mob growing up? I know there's obviously
Uh,
certain things you can or
I
can't talk about.
no,
Not like you were involved or anything.
no, you know.
Did you ever see them like shady guys, the wise guys? Did you ever come across anyone like that?
Yes, friend of mine grew up with Westies,
What's that?
the West Side, the Irish mob,
Okay.
and people he grew up with were actually members and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing him in the bars, like at work. I'd go hang out with him on a Friday night, and some of the guys are wise guys.
Mm-hmm.
They were cool. I mean, they always remembered your name, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was pretty
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
They had a
Yeah.
lot of class.
They respected, let's say, people who did the right thing. If you weren't in that group and you did the wrong thing, well, then you get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone was ill in the neighborhood, they were very, let's say, neighborhood oriented. They'd have rackets. They might be in a bar. Bar would donate the bar bill, and they would, a certain amount of it, and people would go there and give money. Most of these guys lived in apartments. They really didn't have much, but they figured, hey, if the guy's not doing well, give him my paycheck because I can make another one next week. So
Good point.
they weren't selfish in that sense.
They were tightly knit. I saw
Tightly
that.
knit, yes.
Yeah.
Like I went to a wedding where, I guess, friends of was, the old school guys, all blue collar workers. And then my friend told me how much money came from that table. And it was like $8,000.
Wow.
From 4 couples.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Give back though, yeah. It's like family almost.
Yeah.
You grow up with these people. You see
my
them every
friend
day.
used to say, he goes, I thank God I'm not pushing daisies up like half my other friends. So when someone was ill, they did the right thing.
That's good.
I guess maybe they believe it came back to them.
I mean, it's changed a lot. Like, look at it now, because like back then it was almost like a self-regulating society. Like New York itself was heavily run by, the commission, all those guys, the wise guys, by their own underground kind of like facility going.
Yeah.
The cops were always trying to combat them. You had Rudy Giuliani, right?
Yeah.
And his force and all that stuff.
To me, I think it was a balance.
What do you mean? Like with the mob?
Yeah.
Present?
Like I was in the union. The mobs were in the union. We had a lot of work. Maybe they convinced owners to hire union laborers. However they did it.
With those contracts, like some of them, I was talking about it yesterday with my friend. There's these contracts that last like 100 years, so they're not done until 2050. Like some of those Italian made these mob contracts, which basically they did. I think it's called vertical, something in business where you basically from the bottom to the top, you run every aspect. So that way you don't have to use a third party. Everything comes from you. So they were doing that with the construction, the concrete, all the contracts were basically owned by them. And if you didn't sign their contract, you couldn't sign with anybody else.
Wow.
Because they limited all the companies, and basically it was this selection, that selection, or this one, and all three of them were basically connected.
Yeah.
They kind of just
Well, you
solidified
didn't
that.
want to get involved in that because they controlled everything.